Welcome to Season 5 of A Dram with Friends. This is exciting. We are doing our 100th episode, and it's on a deck in Northern Alberta with a bunch of my friends. It's a little disjointed, but lots of fun. I hope you enjoy it. It will end abruptly because our cameraman accidentally pressed the wrong button with his fingers. So I apologize for that, but know that we appreciate you joining us, liking, subscribing. Please help us grow our channel. Please consider supporting God Squad Canada by going to godsquad.ca and donating. We are blessed to be on this mission. We are encouraged to be on this mission. And I hope you take into account what the brotherhood that you will witness in this encounter. And that's what we're trying to grow as we continue to grow ministry to men across Canada and North America. Sit back and I hope you have a dram and enjoy this one.
Dana, you sit downwind and
You can't just hide behind the camera, Father.
Do not put it on the ground.
You gotta hold it, right?
Well, no, you don't have to hold it. It picks it up pretty good.
Even on the ground?
Even on, well, I don't know about the ground, but
See? Because he didn't
Oh.
touch the ground.
Oh, I can't actually be in this. So
why can't you be in this?
because if any of my youth see me smoking and
Yeah.
drinking,
Oh,
Did you
that
do a
wouldn't be
pinky
good for
promise?
us.
We'll
sign a contract.
blot your face out.
You guys kind of look the same.
Actually, is that
Beef?
level?
Yeah.
No? All you white guys look the same to me.
Get that
That's what my
focus-
wife said. That's what my wife said.
Get
She's
that
Filipino.
focus on Sean.
My favorite at Family Life Conference there was this African priest that came up.
You gotta
You all
scooch in
look
there,
the same
Dana,
time.
if you
Yeah.
Perfect where I am. Yeah.
All right, a little Woodford Reserve, please. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do lots of editing on this one.
You think?
That's a little.
That's a little. That's a dram.
You know, your tenth drink can't be a big one.
It's not my 10. John.
Just edit that comment.
Okay.
Are we rolling?
Of course we're rolling. We're live. Live
Don't you
from
make an introduction
deep in the woods of
Buck
Northern Alberta. Is it north? What's Jeff's? Deep in the
Deep
woods
in the
of
north
northern
woods of
Minnesota. Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
deep in the woods of Northern Alberta. We're recording our 100th episode of A Dram with Friends. So I thought I'd get more than just one friend with me for this one.
He actually has more than one.
I do. See? And we're on the last night of our annual motorcycle ride and just having some fun. So I have Richard Bourdieu and Dwight. Dwight's been a past guest on A Dram with Friends. Tom, we had your son on, right?
Aaron, yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
John, I think you did an episode, didn't you?
Yep.
Father Marish, you did an episode?
Yes, I did.
And then Andre. Yes, Andre, we've got new guys in the pub. So some are off camera, not wanting to be seen, like Dean. And there's a special man behind the camera that we will not name for his security reasons. Because just like everything, you have to have somebody deep undercover going into the world spreading the gospel. So, and we can't tell you who that is right now.
But he will show his face one of these years.
Mm-hmm. We'll maybe do a dram with him and when he grows up. When he's an old man like me, and he takes over the show. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a succession plan.
Succession planning.
A succession plan.
So how do we do succession planning for God Squad and heroic men and men's ministry to men?
Well, we need to reach out to the men that will live longer than us.
But-
That means the younger men.
But we don't know
You
How
guys
many-
ride motorcycles, so
We may not live that long.
that could be just about anybody.
That's right. Wasn't that one of Father's homilies on the ride about we don't know how many days we have numbered, and like you were talking about
That was today morning.
Today morning.
today morning, not yesterday morning or tomorrow morning.
No, it can't be tomorrow morning.
You sounds like Hammer Harris now. The time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's so there is lots of laughter, lots of discussion.
There's a guy that
We've solved all the world's problems at least 3 times,
At least.
Yeah, that's one of my sons.
but it's been fantastic sharing time with brothers, and we're just relaxing here on the lake. Cameraman, can you just pan the lake for us without showing your face?
Beautiful lake.
Oh, good job. Good job. So, yeah, we've had a lot of fun on these rides. He does fantastic job, Vanna. So, so John, why do you allow us to come visit you and sit on this beautiful deck enjoying brotherhood?
I like the bourbon you bring.
Oh, okay. There's got to be a little more to it.
Well, I thought Jeff Cavins and Bishop Scott were going to be here, but you,
Okay.
You're stuck with us, though.
yeah, we just got you guys instead.
Bishop Scott, see what you did, Jeff? Well, Jeff had to hang out with the 2 Jesuses, the movie Jesus and the TV Jesus, so I don't know if that's a good enough excuse, but that's his excuse, so. And Bishop Scott, he was in Uganda and doing priest retreats in the U.S. and
A full schedule.
full schedule. And he had some other limitations that,
So next year, he's picking the destination.
that's right. After men, we need you to outreach to the priests that you know that ride the motorcycles. Richard doesn't think there's many, but I know there's lots. To see if there's interest in doing a priest motorcycle rally in Calgary, Alberta, where we have some of the most beautiful mountain rides. We got some rides out to Drumheller where you get all kinds of different things. The Highwood Pass, which is the highest paved highway in Alberta. So lots of opportunities, not to mention Alberta beef, which I'll be smoking up some briskets, and we have no shortage of beer and whiskey, and the priests will come and have a good time and go ride, and then we'll all carry on our way, and we'll start our ride after. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
So please let us know if you have some priests that would be interested in joining us here in Calgary, Alberta, August 2025. It's a jubilee year in the church. Father.
But
pray-
only those who have a motorcycle. So
Yeah.
all those who identify as a motorcycle.
So Father wants to make sure that those that ride a motorcycle not have motorcycles that they identify as a motorcycle.
According to state law,
I only had one feeling, and that wasn't it.
Spider won't do. Plus 3 wheels.
Okay.
In the U.S., it can have a motor, a seat, and not more than 3 wheels to be a motorcycle.
You know, the law in the U.S. is quite
Liberal.
liberal right now. So I don't know if that's a good argument.
that may change.
So yes, but it's been quite the ride. We've had a number of great guests, including Bishop Scott and Jeff Cavins on 100 episodes of A Dram with Friends. So this is a pretty big milestone. That's a lot of tasting whiskey that I've had to endure for the faith. So we all have our crosses to bear. Father Marius has me. Are you even in the picture, Father Marius? Or are you another deep undercover priest?
No, I'm not undercover.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is that on purpose?
I would like to see one of these guys carry Sean on the back of their bikes. That would have been interesting. You're lucky you had the Spider.
You only have to for 10 minutes.
Okay.
You know what happened afterwards.
I'd like to interrupt this broadcast to say that is not something that we need to discuss in the pub at this time. It's been more than discussed in the past, in private, and we don't need to share all the details.
You did look good.
There is a difference between regular maintenance and a Harley, just so you know, where you have to, we have to repair the Harleys, we have to do maintenance on the Victories. Right, Tom?
Little bit of sewing machine oil works just good.
Yeah. We'll go with that,
Yeah. Tom,
just so we don't argue.
come on, some words here.
Words, well, ask a question.
Tom, so what's your favorite whiskey on the trip?
My favorite whiskey on the trip. What was that horse, what was that one?
Oh, yeah.
What do you call that? You bought it, didn't you?
No, let's try.
Oh,
was
Troy
Troy.
bought it, okay.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one. What was that called?
Horse stride? Was it horse stride? No. Strider?
It was one with a horse.
Memorable.
And the bottle's gone, so it must
It
have
was
been good.
good. It was good.
Well, we've had a couple riders that have dropped off before tonight, so yeah, it's been fantastic. We've seen some beautiful country. It was your first time going from Radium
Yeah.
to Banff, and
Stunning, beautiful. And the mountains were majestic. And we got video, Father's got video of that. Hopefully we'll get it up on the website or whatever.
Yeah,
And then it was so good, and all of a sudden the mosquito committed suicide in my screen.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't record anymore. Just
I got mine going later in the day, but yeah, that was it. And one question I ask as we ride through all these beautiful places that we've been is, how can you be an atheist riding through these?
Yeah.
Like, how does this just happen by accident?
Well, for all the priest friends that may consider joining this is kind of a normal thing. The dram is just, this is the formal thing for us right here, but at night, decompressing is the way we go. And it is so good to sit here and have conversation, some of it religious, some of it not. But the discussion is, we did a little blurb on brotherhood the other day, and that's what it's really about. We're brotherhood. We're in this unity thing. I like to look at it as kind of, the Three Musketeers. They have that saying, one for all and all for one. And our one is for God, and He's taking care of us all, and that's our focus. And yet we're having fun, and we're learning from each other. Father Marius has been an absolute blessing to us. Bishop Scott, when he's here, he's a blessing to us. We got Mass every day. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and John's got a chapel here overlooking the lake, so celebrating Mass here the last 2 days has been incredible, and then we also have great discussions over coffee like we did this afternoon, talking about how to run a parish and how to evangelize people and get your parishioners more engaged. And so we're not only just going out and meeting people and telling them that God loves them and has an amazing plan for them, and asking our waitresses if they want to join us while we say grace. But we're also sharing real ideas that maybe can impact our parishes, and stuff that we can carry on after the ride. So, to the new guys, what do you think? It's your first thought.
I like what I'm seeing. It makes me want to ride a motorbike also.
That's
Join
what
the
we're
ride.
hoping.
Your wife won't let you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you cut a question if I ask it?
Sure.
Cool. I'm curious. What do you guys bring home to your families after this?
What do we bring home to our families after this?
A rejuvenated husband, an empowered father, a man ready to go out in the world and make a difference. It's the biggest gift we bring. Recharged in our faith, rested and ready to tackle life. That's the biggest thing we bring. And then our laundry. Some people don't have people to do their laundry though. Sorry, Father.
One thing after the first year of the ride, my wife would love to do this ride. She's jealous of that. But since Jeff was going and she knew Jeff, she let me go the first year. The next year, and even this year, there was never a question. You go. You cannot not go.
So our wives are seeing a strengthening, camaraderie, and a boldness. I think we see a boldness when we return home. Is because we're on the road together, and when we're together, we're not afraid to share the gospel with anybody and everybody. What was it last year? We asked a couple to take a picture of our, because we got together the first night. Hey, we need a picture. Can you take a picture? And then we're listening to their life story, and she's got cancer, and Father Marius is saying a prayer over her with some holy water, and
And with her husband.
with her husband. Yep, yep.
And they were bike riders too.
Yes. And this year it was Mike from Maple Grove, and we're out in the parking lot doing the same thing. It was 37 Celsius, so it wasn't as comfortable as this. But and he goes, I said to my wife, "Why are we going to Miles City? What's good in Miles City?" And then we invited him to join us for Mass the next morning, and Richard and I had a bet, which Richard lost, by the way, and he did show up, and yeah, it's amazing. And he was able to share some of the stuff he's doing that I want to try and incorporate back in Calgary. So they have a argument night where they have the two propositions. We were talking earlier about universities that have monologues and not dialogues, where whether you're advocating for pro-choice or pro-life or whatever the two spectrums are, have the two people do their arguments, and then they break into their groups with a cigar and a whiskey, and the guys talk about what's going, what position they thought had the best argument, and then they start arguing amongst themselves, and just like we do on the ride, and have open and dialogue.
So then do you see these rides as being something that you want to continue as part of God Squad, or is this just something that you guys do for you? And if you do want to continue them, how are you going to bring people into it?
Well, you're here.
I don't have a
And,
bike.
and what I look at this as is, you know how we do men's retreats, right? This is a moving men's retreat. It just happens to be with the same people, but we have a priest. We have occasionally. I mean, I've crossed the border while we're waiting for the other guys with a priest, and he says, "Hey, you want to do confession?" And, some of us run, some of us don't. I chose to do confession, but I figure, you know what? This is why we're here. I mean, we're here to learn more about our faith. I mean, some of us are pretty old, and we still don't know about everything in our faith. We've heard things, but you're living it when you're doing some of this stuff. When you're doing, when you got Jeff with you, and you're learning about activated discipleship, you're seeing it in live, real time at the gas station, at the convenience store, at the restaurant, and it's just really powerful. So how does it attract new people? And I would say, yeah, the God Squad should continue. How does it continue? We invite more people in. You guys got to get motorcycles. That's just it.
You can go have that conversation with my wife.
That's for you. You got to put on the bootstraps and tighten the belt and take the punches. You can ride it. You can ride a three-wheeler if you want.
If it's any consolation, Bev and I had our first date on a motorcycle, my 450 Honda. We've been married 50 years. We've taken trips together. But the thing is, I had to give it up when we had young kids. But it was when the kid's older, and my wife says, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to take a bike trip through the mountains." 2 days later, I had a bike. Her boss said, "We're going to Durango this summer. Do you want to go with?" So we started riding again.
And you know, also when you go, like we are surrounded by Christians very much, right? Every day, the same people talking about God, all that kind of stuff. And then you go to those rides, like you guys, you don't camp, but I do camp when I go, right? And then you go to the camping ground and you have a fire, all of that, and every discussion ends up with motorcycles, politics, and religion, right? Those are the topics, yeah. But then, just for me, like you see somebody else's perspective, being a priest, right? So you can kind of relate and use that for your homilies if you want to, because that's a really good source for information, like how people live their life, those who do not believe in God. And you know, they know for sure they will never meet you again. You know you don't meet them again, so there is no like limit. They tell the way how it is. So that's why I like it. I remember one year I was going to Durango, and I just pitched my tent, and there was a fellow with two kids. They were around 5 and 7, somewhere there. And he came to me and he said, "Can you join us for supper?" And I said, "You know, I'm not kind of presentable. You know, you're on the bike for a whole month, right? So, and those kids may be a little bit afraid of guys with leather and all of that." And he said, "No, I insist." I said, "You know, go and ask your wife, and if she says so, I will just join you for half an hour." And so he went there, talked to her, comes back, and he said, "Yeah, she would like to see you to come and join us for supper." So I was sitting there, and they asked me, "So, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Poland, but I work in Canada." "So what do you do for a living?" And I said, "I'm a Catholic priest." And they look at me like a deer to the headlights. But then she said, "So you're the father, right?" And when she says father, I knew she's Catholic. Otherwise she would call you a pastor or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so she said, "You're a father." I said, "Yeah, I am a father." "So you talk to the kids?" I said, "Yeah, they go to the school and graduation, all this stuff." And she started talking to me. She was diagnosed with cancer and she was dying. And she had a stage 4 breast cancer. And she said, "This is our last picnic with children because I'm dying." And then she talked for half an hour about her experience, all of that. And she said, "Tell those young people, don't waste your time because you don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow, right?" And so I didn't have to say anything. It was more for her to get all of that garbage out because the husband probably heard that for many times, but she needed to say that to somebody outside. So when we go there, like many times people start talking to us. We don't need to talk. We just listen. And they will tell you all that stuff what they have to go through. And what do? We get together and we pray, right? So that's so we don't have to do anything. Just be there and listen to those guys and pray for them.
And that's quite often what we do is we just ask, that's our entry. "Hey, we're on our way to St. Joseph's Oratory. Is there anything that we can pray for you?" And it's amazing what they open up.
Like people, we need to listen, and they will just keep talking, and that's how they get closer to each other, to God.
Yeah.
So
As you can see, it was cut off, but Father was talking about the importance of us getting out there. And I know that that's one of the focuses God Squad and Heroic Men have, is that making missionary disciples, do not be afraid to engage those around. Father talked about a very important part of listening to your brothers, hearing where they're at, and the burdens that many of them carry, especially in this world of loneliness and isolation. It's so important that we engage each other as brothers, as you witnessed the joy of having friendships like that is incredible. The guys that you just saw continue to spread the gospel, and the Gaelic term for whiskey is Ishkabaha. Ishkabaha means water of life, and I pray that they continue to spread that water of life, the true water of life, Christ our King, to all those that they meet. Great. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of A Dram with Friends. Like and subscribe. Go to all podcast platforms to look for it on podcast, or go to godsquad.ca to support our mission.